Hi, Doc. Kumusta?
All good. We're in
Yeah,
the thick of
so
things,
in the
as
thick
you
of
know.
things, as always. So, welcome back to an Ethics PH pod. I think we've been having conversations and doing these things in public, and we have one episode from 6 months ago that we recorded together. And I know you've been putting stuff out, but now this is fresh, and it's going to be a thing that we're regularly going to do. First thing I wanted to ask Doc is, how much has our thinking changed in the last 6 months?
That's an interesting question. Siguro for me, the fundamentals have barely changed. So the things
Hmm.
we've been wanting to do before, like promote artificial intelligence, promote responsible use, stuff like the 40s. I think those things are still more relevant now than ever. But maybe what's changed a lot is the tactics. For
Hmm.
example, now, as in literally 48 hours ago, we're starting to see political propaganda using AI na, like
Yes.
explicit. Hindi katulad dati na parang it's like a boogeyman that people were looking for, pero wala naman. No? Like in the last election, deepfakes were hardly mentioned, hardly, despite our warnings. Eh ngayon, nandiyan na.
Oo.
So sabi ko,
Andiyan
wow,
na.
nataplisan lang tayo by one election. So it's
Oo.
very, very certain by 2028, that's gonna be a big deal. So other things as well that are now coming to bear, like um, more and more the copyright tension with
Yes.
AI is reaching a fever pitch. Disney is suing Mid-Journey. I mean, we've always had a stance on like responsible use of AI, protect, let's say, IP or
Yeah.
artists. Pero ngayon, the guns are getting bigger. And then finally, in the Philippines, lalo, in this 6 months alone, Andreessen Horowitz is taking aim at BPOs, and BPOs are starting to step up. So yun eh, parang it's more of a change in magnitude rather than a change in thinking. But still the
Yeah.
same.
We've been doing this together for about 6 months. And I think that my technical understanding of things has just drastically kind of ballooned. Because when we started, I was just into a lot of the reading. And I had implemented AI systems, but the larger, broader kind of world that we were looking at, um, it became clearer or came into focus for me as we worked together these last 6 months. But what's interesting is, I think it's last week we have two major kind of releases that have people chattering on their various sides of this spectrum. And again, same themes, different timelines, and different tactics. But it's the Apple paper that talks about large reasoning models and what their limitations are. And then on the other side of it is Sam Altman releasing a blog post saying, guys, ASI in 2030. AGI ba? ASI. Yeah, yeah, in 2030. So he's painting his rosy picture of where AI is going to be and how OpenAI is leading us there.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the bulk of what we're going to be talking about today. How did you read these two papers?
The Apple thing, and I think we talked about this. For the rest of us who are really more into the practical stuff, hardly
Hmm.
surprising.
No.
But I think it was really aimed at kind of the AI bros, as we call them,
Hmm.
who are arguing for AGI, kind of the sci-fi AI. Kaya nga, ano eh, I made mention of three camps, no, that popped up when AI began. AI is such an interesting trend eh, comparing it to blockchain. Parang lahat doon mga hypers. And then anyone who was skeptical about blockchain were crucified. No? And then generally, it's the same then for past, like big data, data science, puro hype, hype. Sa AI, kakaiba eh. Syempre, the AGI bros. Then there are also the diehard doomers and skeptics. So those are three camps. The skeptics are saying, it's not even useful. And the doomers are more about, it's making us dumb, it's destroying art. Puro nega. And then you have the opposite end naman, yung mga hype, mga maximalists who are saying, this will solve all our problems, AGI tomorrow. And I think the Apple paper made the doomers happy and the skeptics happy, but attacked the AI bros. But then if you step back and think about it, all these camps are probably wrong, in my view, or they're not the right places to be. The right place is somewhere in the middle where it's useful, it's not going to kill us. There are misuses which we need to mitigate. Pero kumbaga, I think the time for centricity, call it that, in AI is now. If you start medyo going hard, hard left, call it, into doomer land or hard right into AGI land, that's how you know you're being waylaid. So in the same manner, I'm skeptical long term about practical uses of blockchain. Might end up eating my words later. But right now, wala. Parang other than crypto, NFTs, wala. It's all speculation. Then there's another parang oft mentioned technology called quantum. Ano rin yan? Pie in the sky. It's gonna crack all the codes. Fine. And then AGI. I think they're all the same. They're all mega promises, but with very little to show for it. While the practical use of AI has been delivering output for years, even before ChatGPT. Pero yun na nga the ones who know don't talk. And the ones who talk a lot don't really know. No? So we want to be both. We want to talk about it because we're using it in a different.
My initial reaction to the Apple paper was, yeah, we know. We know that I don't want to be flippant because they did put it through these steps, but the reason why they had to put it through these paces was because the hype is so loud. So I relate to that idea that, you know what? Daming hype eh. Butasin nga natin. I think that was really what that
The
Apple
intention,
paper is
right?
trying to do is just. But again, if you've been using these things, it's like, at a certain level of query, it collapses. Yeah. Anyone who's been using chatbots regularly knows that there is a level of complexity at which it falls apart. And it's not so here's my problem with things like this, and it's exactly what you're saying about the people who are anti-AI will grab onto it and go, ayan, you see, that's why we should never use it. And it's the same problem as hallucinations, which is that this is a technology that by the way it is built, it fails.
Yeah.
Right? At a certain level, it fails. And it is designed with these probabilities that it is not going to be 100% right because of the way that it is designed. It works so well because it's designed that way, but it fails so badly because it's designed that way. Right?
You know, ano nga if I can interject there, parang sa simula, I was one of the first to caution people about using AI as a source of truth. Because people were using it as search engines, and they're not. Although now you have like search engine AI hybrids, no, like Perplexity and all these other apps. But even then, there's still a chance of hallucination. And I was saying, why are you, number one, why are you prompting badly? Because that creates the hallucination. Diba? Who is Doc Ligot? Oh, he's a human rights lawyer. So when the right approach should be, here's Doc Ligot's CV. Please summarize it. Or given Doc Ligot's CV, please see attached. Give areas where he might be able to add value in human rights. 100%. You probably will get a good output. So doon pa lang, there's already a divergence. And then it gets more complex na. O sige, AI is stealing. No? Sabi ko, why are you using AI to replicate existing artwork in the first place? And then that conflates with, I can use Ghibli style for other things. That's not stealing. No? But if you used it to recreate Princess Mononoke, yun, issue yun. So I feel yun parang we're now headed further and further into this, pardon my French, stupid rabbit hole. When dun pa lang sa entrance of the hole, meron ng warning, don't go in if you don't want to get sucked into the rabbit hole. And then people were just diving in. And then now I don't know, sometimes I feel na because of this inadvertence, we're now deep in the rabbit hole and we're starting to engineer all sorts of structures to dig ourselves out of the hole. When the issue was, just walk out of the hole. Don't even stay there. And that's where kind of my although we're both in policy reform, Pero I feel that it's a grand exercise to reason our way out of a hole that we never even should have entered in the first place. And it's still an option for us to step out of the hole. Pero parang hindi. We want to dwell in the hole and write all sorts of manifestos and, and Magna Cartas to dig our way out of it. So I feel that, wow, it's like a grand tail wagging the dog scenario tuloy. Anyway, yun lang. Just thinking out loud.
Because if you're using AI for certain things, you should know what you're using it for. And I agree with you. There are people who just on principle won't use it, or they used it once so they won't. Or now there are people who will look at this Apple paper and go, you see, it's going to fail. It's going to fail, and so let's not use it. And if that were our standard for all technologies, we wouldn't be using a lot of the technologies that we use if they have failure points. So
I'll give you a vivid analogy. So when cars first appeared, it was primarily a technological response to the issue of horse manure. That's how I view it. Because horses were doing fine. Problema, they just kept getting dirtier and may upkeep siya. So delete the horse, keep the carriage. And then finally they figured it out. And then nung nagkakotse, people were really against it. They were putting up all sorts of rules that you can't drive faster than X, or there has to be at least 2 people in the car. Ganyan. And then when people were dying because they were flying out of the windshield when they were hitting something, people were saying, oh, kita mo, dapat di na tayo nagkotse in the first place. Until they figured out seatbelts. So I think we're at that point in the AI parang journey. We're literally at people dying because of speeding. And there's no amount of speeding rules that can stop people from speeding. Someone has to engineer the seatbelt for AI. Now let's talk about the ones you were talking about. O sige, no one naman forced people to use cars. They stuck to horses. Pero grabe naman the leap that or the benefit you're depriving yourself of, the autonomy, the speed. Sige, maglakad ka, ayaw mo mag-auto. So, yun din yung mangyayari sa AI, where you certainly have the option not to use it, but good luck with your job prospects. Good luck with your business prospects. I mean, the benefits are just so much. It's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater analogy. Sige, let's not use it para wala nang risks, but you deprive yourself of all the benefits then. And guess what? It's the proverbial toothpaste out of the tube or the genie out of the bottle. Good luck putting it back in the tube. I mean, it sounds like a cop-out, pero ganun eh. So I feel na, again, it's a rabbit hole we could have decided not to get into, but we did. And then now we're writing all sorts of rules and structures, when the simplest matter could just be, just don't use it badly, diba? Pero yun na nga, it talks to human nature tuloy. And then now we have the political propaganda problem, where, ayan na, there are deliberately malicious agents. What are you going to do now? Yung challenge.
The very direct example I can give right now is, we're doing this recording. If I were to edit this the old school way with audio editing software and all that stuff, it would take me maybe 1 to 2 hours to cut it down. But after this recording, it's gonna take me about 15 to 30 minutes to pull the video together. That's it. And we're ready to roll. And then super easy to get my clips for whatever we're gonna share on social. It's just that fast. And at the same time, I don't think that anybody lost their job out of that. But it gave me the superpower of much faster editing than I used to. But this idea that adoption is like a black or white thing, where you have to do it, and when you do it, it's necessarily oppressive. And I understand, again, like we're always talking about those ethical issues, but how far people might fall behind is a real problem. On the other end of it is the Sam Altman promises, similar to the AI 2027 paper that was released a few weeks ago. They were saying AGI by 2027 was their projection. So Altman pushes further out to 2030. But I do think that this leans much further into the hype stuff. And that's the thing. Each of these camps is having different conversations. The hypers are not worried about ethics, and they're not worried about the day-to-day challenges that AI is already posing for people. because they're so focused on this magical future where AI is solving all the problems. And then on the other end of it is this, this Apple paper, which just gives people who don't want to use AI justification to not use it because they've identified a powerful failure point, which people in AI were already aware of
Yeah,
a
we
long
knew
time
that
ago.
from the beginning, right?
We knew that there's a level of complexity that these things cannot handle. There are a lot of researchers who are saying LLMs are not going to get us to AGI ASI. Like, just the technology is not there. I actually fall on a different level here in Adoke, which is I actually don't think we should be trying to build something that replaces humans. I think we should be building something that is a parallel to us. The typical example is writing, but essentially the notebook as an external hard drive. And so
Yeah.
we should be building computers that do amazing things that computers do that humans can't do. That's where my mind is, because one of the weird, I guess, trends is LLMs and diffusion models were capable of making quote unquote human creativity things. Suddenly people wanted to replace writers and artists. Let's just get rid of them. And granted, as a writer and an artist who's worked with many writers and artists, we can be annoying in the same way that a lot of people can be annoying. But for some reason, we were the first people that they wanted to put on the chopping block. Writers, artists, educators, like all of these things that are quote unquote soft skills, yun yung gustong i-target, when maybe what we should be doing is building AI systems that will enhance the delivery of, say, education, that will support teachers who are severely under resourced. Parang just like the conversations I feel need to have a little change to them, and I hope that this is the start of those kinds of conversations.
Yeah, I mean, just a reaction to your reaction. And maybe because I live in my own echo bubble, I'm struggling to find similar advocacies where people stay centrist about it. No, parang responsible use, responsible productivity. Too many people arguing for, oh, it's the new utopia. Less, but still a growing number, are arguing for AI destroying humanity. Para siyang ano it's a more extreme version of I the name escapes me right now, but there was a guy who was ultra negative about the internet when it first came. And ngayon naka-frame na yung kanyang historic article about the internet na parang gano'n yung ano niya, yung headline niya. So parang may ganung trend. And you know what? We ridicule people like that now. People who were wanting to ban the calculator, people who were against photography, lahat. And these are fairly simple technologies compared to AI. Ang laking reckoning yan later when Gen Beta comes of age and they're gonna laugh at all of us who are thinking of all these tropes. Or maybe not. I don't know. Parang isip ko lang. Then you have the ones kumbaga, who are living maybe an order of magnitude separate from everyone else who are arguing for techno-utopia naman. Hindi ko ma-reach hindi ko pa ma-achieve. So, at least for me, I've decided to ground myself with my immediate environment, which is primarily Asia, the Philippines. And when I talk AI safety, the top agenda talaga is labor, labor protection, not even intellectual property pa nga, although that's up there too. And education. Education and labor are kind of interlocked also.
Jobs and education, yeah.
Yun talaga eh. But there's a lot to be said about if education is the input to labor. No one's talking about the input to education, which is nutrition. We have a malnutrition crisis right now at an epidemic level. But no one cares. Kaya yun pa eh, parang, and I've known this throughout my own career in banking and risk management. We tend to over-ascribe risks to relatively trivial issues and totally ignore massive, trends that have a real, impact on us. It's the same as climate change. There's a lot of hype and disinformation around it, but for the most part, people actually ignore it because, yeah. So the Earth gets hotter by 1 degree. What does that have to do with me? And then one
Yeah,
day
no,
you end up drowning in a flood. Parang ganun yung mangyayari.
I think that's sort of the perfect spot for me to jump in. There is this idea that climate, and we all know it's a problem,
Yeah.
but are we creating climate jobs? Like there's a lot of climate research and there's a lot of move towards climate technology, but the big step is creating jobs at, say, sustainable energy, you
Level.
know,
Yeah.
level. Like who's like making more solar panels, or yung ganon, yung are we building industries that will allow our Philippine economy to thrive around this thing? And so that's one thought, because there's so much good research about climate and so much clarity about what needs to be done, and yet
Yeah.
there's not enough investment and push towards fixing that. And I think that parallels then also AI, because there's a lot of conversations about, one, we need to implement AI, two, lots of people are using AI, three, um a lot of education programs. Oh, we should educate, we need to educate, we need to upskill, etc., etc. But are we building a business environment, and are we building industrial spaces for progress for the people who will occupy these jobs eventually? Maybe that's a future discussion for us. No, but this idea na wala namang kwenteng AI education kung walang AI jobs, right? Will we miss the boat in the same way that we missed the boat on manufacturing? Diba? Kasi we were agriculture, we missed manufacturing, and then we became services and BPO.
We
And
jump agad to the
yeah,
information
yeah,
technology economy.
yeah. But as a result, we don't have like manufacturing infrastructure. We don't have that base of competence in that specific thing. And the service sector looks like it's going to be severely attacked by AI. And so
Right.
whatever the economy looks like after this, yun yung tanong is what are the jobs going to be? And therefore, what are the companies that need to exist? And maybe that's my weird like optimism naman, as like a kind of startup guy. Like what what companies should we be building so that Filipinos thrive in the next 5, 10, 20, 50 years? Yan.
There's also something to be said about, and I'm a big, as you know, I'm a big fan of how technology, industrial revolutions are also political revolutions. Diba? So, first industrial revolution was the colonial era. Second was post-colonial. Third was the Cold War. And then ngayon, the fourth industrial revolution. So, ano ba ang nangyari sa Philippines throughout these parang uh, we thankfully, of course, people might disagree. I think we thankfully avoided that whole dive into slavery, like what happened to the African nations. But you could argue there's kind of like some soft slavery happening in the Philippines during the colonial era. You'll hear an economist or two opine nga about missing the boat in manufacturing. BPOs are not the answer. So to that point, I say yes, but andyan eh. So what do you do, right? And the reason
Oh,
why we
tapos na eh.
also missed, yeah, and manufacturing, we had our moment in manufacturing actually. It ended in the 90s with the eruption of Pinatubo primarily. Pero we had logistics and factories, and we still
We
do
had, uh,
semiconductors
yeah,
set
we
up
had
here.
semiconductors, cars.
Yeah, so meron naman problema. We didn't evolve. Like when the rest of the world moved up to Industry 4.0 and AI in manufacturing, we stayed in manual labor because nga it's easier, and I would
It's
argue,
cheaper.
yeah,
It's cheaper,
cheaper
and then
labor.
we have overabundance of labor.
Ngayon, robots are taking those jobs. Full stop. Then we're stuck to BPOs na. So I feel na para tayong good enough. Pwede na yan. Hanggang dyan na lang. And then that's it. But okay, that being said, the reason why I brought up industrial revolution in politics, we are the world's labor force for many occupations, not just call centers. We're the world's accounting labor force, nursing labor force, engineers in Saudi, domestic helpers in Hong Kong. you name it, no, there's a Philippine diaspora representing a labor sector. And people hate to admit it, pero that's our contribution to the world. What does that look like in a future where AI is, parang second nature? Certainly, labor will still be important, but the nature of the labor will have changed. So where are we tackling that? Ang problema din kasi, again, I'm going to sound politically incorrect here. We try to live in la la land for the most part. People think, oh, we're going to compete in science and technology, STEM, STEM, STEM. Yes, but take note, anyone who is, at a decent level of competence, many of them end up going abroad anyway. So first chance they get at having a world-class
Yeah.
scientific and technology career, what do? They pack up their bags. They leave the Philippines.
Because
Because why would you stick
that's where the
around?
opportunity is. That's where the labs are better,
So
etc.
parang we defaulted that battle before we even start. And I feel na that's why as a personal decision, and whether I regret it or not, well, see na lang. I chose not to participate in that kind of thinking. I'm not gonna get into the STEM race. Even my whole foray into startups, which you're familiar with. I mean, we're a 3-time winner of a global space apps challenge. No one else in the world I know has that distinction. But that a lot of good that did us. Parang ganun. We weren't even used as a way of rallying more people to compete, di ba? Does
But
that,
that,
baka naman ako
but
yung may
does,
pagkukulang doon.
but doesn't that speak to the ecosystem?
So, sabi ko, screw that, I'll leave that. However, whatever we learn from it, it's still good work. We'll use it na lang in areas where we can control, like policy, education, lobbying, and make that sustainable. Yun na yung state of affairs for me. And, does that mean we can't cause enough damage to fix things? Hindi naman. There's still some damage to be done. Pero, the odds are really against us. That's how I feel every day. And having a conversation like this is just a way of, it's catharsis.
Yeah, fair.
Put it out there. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I don't know if that's
No,
what
I
you
mean
wanted to talk about.
this is the start. That does speak to my own personal commitment that I believe we should be building in the Philippines for the Philippines. Like
Yeah.
we need to make the Philippines a place that people want to work and stay. And I
Yeah.
would be lying if I didn't admit that every day when I go out there, there's something that pisses me off and goes, ba't kasi ganito dito? Sa ibang bansa
Pag-ibig.
ganyan, but that's, that's where I think we both reveal our personal biases for wanting to build here, and to make things better here. And this is our path, no? And yeah, just to wrap it up, those are my thoughts. Is we will say this over and over in this pod is AI problems are actually human problems. And so it's not a problem that AI exists. The problem is that we need better jobs for people the world over, but we need better jobs for Filipinos. We need jobs that people here can aspire to. And we need jobs that give them like a really good life and meaning and all of those important things. So you last thought ko for it.
Right. Well, yeah. Obviously, I'm happy that we're back on the saddle
Yeah.
as far as ethics podcasts are concerned. Sabi ko nga, if only we can at least lift the level of conversation muna. Start with that. Just the discourse. Maybe we can, we might be able to achieve it. But for now, wala. Parang, other than talking about it, hopefully it becomes the seed for more activity in the future. Pero yun na nga, even on the talking about it front, I don't think people are talking about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it all starts with conversations, and honestly, it's taken me a very long time to get this thing launched.
Diba?
But
Yeah.
but here we are. Initially, we'll be coming out every other week, and we'll be talking to different people. I will probably serve as the main anchor moving forward, and we'll get people from the ethics team and from people in related fields to keep having conversations with us about responsible and ethical AI and data adoption.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for having me.